Hey guys, Derek Killen with Intune Music and Sound. Great to see you today. You know, we have people come in all the time. We love to see you. We encourage you to come in. There's new product coming out all the time, whether that's guitars, basses, band instruments. There's just new stuff all the time. So come on in. We'd love to see you, sit down and talk with you. But sometimes when people come in, they come in simply to get their instrument tuned. They ask us, can you please tune my guitar? Can you tune my bass, my violin? So I thought this morning I would give you a few tips and show you that you can actually do this yourself if you have a little bit of knowledge and the right equipment. So I'm going to kind of start at the beginning. We're going to work our way through it, and I'm going to use a guitar for the tuning. So I have a guitar here. The first thing I'm going to talk about is several of the guitars that are on the market today have a built-in tuner. That's a cool feature. It really is, and it's not hard to use at all. Now, to tune a guitar, you're going to have to know what the names of the strings are. There's 6 strings on a guitar, and our teacher, Rachel Smith, and if you need lessons, Rachel Smith is the gal. But Rachel teaches us the names of the strings in I think it's kind of a funny way. The names of the strings, she makes a little sentence out of it. It's E-A-D-G-B-E. She says, Elvis ate donuts, God bless Elvis. E, Elvis, 8, A, donuts, D, God, G, bless, B, Elvis, E. So we got 2 E's, they're an octave apart. So when you're tuning, you have to know which string you're tuning, and we're talking about this built-in tuner on this one. There's a little button here, you simply push it, and the tuner comes on. So I'm going to hit the top, the lowest sounding string, it's E, remember that's Elvis. And if you'll notice, the E came on, it recognized it. But it's not in tune. There's 2 little arrows, and I think when I get in tune, there's going to be a green light that pops on. There it is. That tells me my E string is in tune. The next string up, Elvis 8, so it's an A. Again, it's a little on the flat side, the left. If the left arrow's on, your note's flat. If the right arrow's on, your note's sharp. So I'm going to tune up to the A. And when it clicks in, I got the green light. Pretty easy. Nothing to it. So you just keep going all the way through guitar. Very handy to have an onboard tuner on your guitar, especially if you're in a live performance or in a live setting and you can't really afford to go plug a tuner in. So that's the first thing I wanted to show you. That's an onboard tuner. I'm going to turn that off so we don't waste battery. Now what if you have an acoustic guitar that's not electric and doesn't have a built-in tuner? Well, the tuner you're going to look for is going to look a lot like this. There's several models that do the same thing, but basically this is a chromatic tuner, and you can see that it's already got the needle moving back and forth. It has a built-in mic. If you don't have a pickup on your acoustic guitar, or if you're doing a violin or a wind instrument, then you're going to want one of these that has a mic on the front of it. So what I do, I'm going to on purpose detune Elvis again. Alright, I'm playing E. Got a note name here, that's E. And you see how the left arrow's on next to the flat sign? The red light next to the flat sign means I'm flat. So I have to turn my tuning knob until this needle hits straight in the middle and my green light comes on. Let me tell you one thing about stringed instruments. Bass is going to be even worse than a guitar. You have to let the note settle. When you first pluck it, it's probably going to pluck sharp, and then it's going to settle back down to the pitch. I went a little too far. There you go. You notice I'm trying to talk while I'm trying to tune, and the tuner's having a hard time with that. You kind of have to be quiet while you're tuning your instrument if you're using the mic. Kind of settled back then. So that's how that works if you got one of these. Now if you do have a pickup, typically on acoustic, your end pin is going to be hollowed out. That's made for a 1/4 inch guitar cable, okay? Just happen to have one. This same tuner that has the built-in mic has a 1/4 inch input. So I'm going to put the other end in the 1/4 inch, and that defeats the mic. The mic doesn't work anymore. So I'm going to come back to my guitar. Let me detune Elvis real quick. and it's a much stronger signal to the tuner. And if you, obviously I'm flat. So I'm going to tune up. I like to deaden the strings in between each pluck, that way you don't have overtones. Basically settled in on the E. So that's how it works if you have an acoustic guitar with or you use an electric guitar, electric bass, any of the electric instruments that have a 1/4 inch pickup on them, that tuner will work just fine for you. I will tell you this though, that is kind of old technology. I know that sounds weird, but the tuners that you plug a 1/4 inch into, it means you have to have an instrument, you have to have the cable, you have to have the tuner. A little bit outdated. Still works great if that's what you have, there's nothing wrong with it. But let me show you some of the new stuff that's out. It's pretty cool stuff. So I told you about some new technology. Let me show you some of it, all right? You know, the theory behind the 1/4 inch cable going to your tuner that has the plug into it is that you're sending an electronic signal, and that's how it gauges the tuning. And like I say, that's fine. It just requires a little bit more equipment to carry around with you. They've started producing, believe it or not, that's a tuner. It's awesome. This is, the brand on this is Cool. Not only is it a Cool tuner, the brand is called Cool. It's got a touch screen on it. See if I can light this up for you and show you. And the screen lights up on it and gives you a good visual reading. This is the Boss brand. Essentially does the same thing. Lights up. We're going to have a digital readout. And then this little guy's called a Snark. He kind of does the same thing. And let me show you how these work. You see how this has this alligator clip looking aspect to it, or a flexible end. Believe it or not, these work on vibration. I know I didn't believe it either, but I promise you it's all I use now. You just take this guy, most people put it down here on your headstock, point it at yourself, and they're nice enough to let you spin that around so you can read it. And basically I've got the tuner on the end of my guitar now. And it works the same way. Remember, Elvis ate donuts, God bless Elvis. So E, as I play this, it's going to register the note name, and when I'm in tune, there's a green bar that lights up right in the center. It's feeling the vibrations. So that was my E, here's my A. Green light on, good to go. There's my D, a little bit flat. So I come down here and adjust the tension on the string with my tuning knob. A lot of people say, well, what if I go too far? You kind of have to. You're finding the middle ground. You're finding the right place. So you may go past it and have to come back down to it. Little tip I'll give you, if you go past it, it's really easier to come back under it and tune up. It's always easier to tighten the string into tune than it is to loosen the string. All right, so I want to show you some of the other ones as well. But I also got another guitar because I want you to see that the same pieces of equipment, these same tuners, will work across the spectrum. You don't have to have an acoustic guitar. These don't have an external mic. And one reason I picked up this electric guitar, it wouldn't work with one of the microphones anyway, so there has to be another way. You either have to use the 1/4 inch to the cork tuner I showed you earlier. But again, why? These things are so easy to use. I'm just going to put this down here on my headstock. I'm going to point it at me. Again, turn it on. And at the bottom here, I have to look at this because on the Cool tuning, right now it's set for ukulele. I don't want to tune to a ukulele. I want to tune, that's chromatic, there's guitar. So it's going to show me note names just for a guitar. And these come with instructions, but again, it's just simply a touch of the screen down here. So I've got it on, and I'm going to play my, again, same strings, Elvis ate donuts, God bless Elvis. So I'm going to play my Elvis. See how it recognized the note name, but all these arrows over here say you're flat. Left side means flat, so I'm going to tighten up my string. Less arrows the closer I'm getting. Oh, look at that, the whole screen lit up right when I got in tune. That's awesome. That tells me Elvis is in tune. Next note, 8, is my A. Again, I'm pretty flat on that. So I'm going to start tightening my string. Almost. Whole screen lit up. It's kind of a reward for you. When you get there, you get the fanfare, the hoopla. In tune. So Vibration. It's all working off vibrations. I'm going to get one more guitar for you. I'm a bass player, so I'm going to show you that, and I was very skeptical that this technology would work on a bass. I'm going to show you. All right, so I went and got me a bass. Let's talk about the bass for a minute. It's got different strings. I only got 4 strings as opposed to 6 like most guitars. And my bass that I play most of the time actually has 5 strings. So to make sure you know the note names that you're looking for, if it's a 4-string bass, you still have Elvis 8 Donuts, but you only get to the G. Elvis 8 Donuts good. So 4 strings. Now my 5-string actually adds a lower string. It's a B string, so maybe Big Elvis 8 Donuts good. But this is E-A-D-G. I'm going to use the Boss tuner this time. I just want you to see that they're all capable of handling what you need them to do. I'm just going to attach it to the tailpiece of the bass, and it's already starting to light up for me. Again, I'm trying to tune to an E, and what it tells me is this is so flat that it's actually registering a D. And I'm going to warn you about this too. Bass guitars, these big old strings, you don't have to turn them very far to get a lot of difference, okay? So I'm going to pluck the string and come up a little bit. Now it says I made it to E flat. Almost there. Now on the Boss tuner, when it gets in tune, you got 2 blue arrows that point at each other, and that rolling, it's called a strobe type tuner. It stops rolling at you. So when I hit my E, I went a little too far. I'm going to loosen it up. Come back at it again. On the bass, it's my experience. It's a good practice to deaden all the strings in between each pluck because they sympathetically vibrate with each other, so you get overtones and your pickup will keep reading. And you don't want that to happen. You're going to get a false reading. So I got my E. I'm going to let it hit, and it kind of rolls into tuning when it's in tune. Now, one thing I want to tell you about, the naked eye, as I look at this, is a different look than what you might be seeing on your computer screen, or it's just the way cameras pick up the colors coming off of a digital readout. So if it looks like it's got kind of some weird colors, it's not that weird in person. It's a lot clearer and easier to see. That's, again, when we're playing with technology, that's what happens. All right, I'm trying to tune to an A. It says I'm almost there. A little bit flat. Roll it up in there, deaden my strings. And there it is. That's how easy it is, Bob. So, all of these tuners, it's just so much easier to carry this around in your case or in your little gig bag that you carry with you. Way easier than trying to keep up with it. And I know that you're already going to use a 1/4-inch cable to play out of more than likely. I know that that other tuner's not that big. So if that's what you like, awesome. I just want to make sure you knew how to use it. That's the newest technology. These aren't even all of them. We've got plenty of them down here. They're all comparatively priced. You're probably looking anywhere from $25 to $35. That's your range on them. Don't be scared to tune your instrument. Everybody that plays with you will be a lot happier if you'll do it. That's how it works. You can do it yourself.